Book Bullies from Nerds New Bully. Me host Leroy, aka the Red Pill Popper, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka the Stormtrooper of Love.
There you go. Does that mean you also miss?
I pull out,
Yeah, right. Oh man.
and I can't see in
Yes.
this thing. Yeah, this shit gets fogged up.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna like go the whole time in there. I was gonna see how long
I
you last.
wish.
Remember, I tried to do that in a Black Panther mask too, and I couldn't make it. So yeah. And we're back with another episode. And yeah, for one thing that don't know what happened, of course, this is the day after. The day after Christmas, the big day. Everybody got a chance to spend time with their family. Eli, you gave us a slight little preview of what you got for Christmas. So
Yeah, I was a good boy this year. Santa slid through.
gotcha. So no coal in your stocking, so you actually got some good stuff in there. So I mean, what you got? You got the Stormtrooper helmet, which I
Yeah,
almost,
the Black Series.
I almost thought you had that already.
No, I
Okay.
actually had one of these years ago, like a Halloween version, like a cheap $20 one. It was like plastic, and like these are all like stickers and shit, like decals. This is the Black Series helmet, and it's pretty fucking detailed. Like I've been just like holding this, almost like slept with it like a teddy bear. I've been just like holding it and like looking at all the details and shit, because I never seen a Stormtrooper helmet like up close like this, like a real detailed one and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been just kind of like, admiring it and like cuddling it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Making out with it.
So that's cool. What did I get? Here's the thing. It sounds mundane, it sounds simple, but I'm actually happy for it. I got 3 months Xbox Game Pass subscription.
Oh,
That's
there
it.
you go.
That's all I got. But
that comes in handy.
That's all I wanted. Because I wanted to get Halo. I wanted to get Skyrim. I wanted to get Gears of War. I got it all now. And plus, I didn't even know it had all the EA Pass stuff on there, so I can download Madden. I can download Battlefield, also like that. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving. I'm just like, what am I gonna do with all these games? So yeah, I'm just enjoying myself, man. Now here's the thing. Like, what about did you get a chance to like eat with the family, stuff like that? And
I went over to Anthony, ex Geek Sabs, that he had a big shindig at his place. I went over there and hung out and ate some food and got all festive and shit. And yeah, it was cool. It was a good time.
Cool. I didn't get a chance to eat with the family, but I think my dad went over and got some food from my aunt's house, stuff like that. But it's like a bunch of my aunts that cook food, so I don't know who made what. So whoever made the chicken tetrazzini, if you're watching this podcast, shout out to you. And guess what? The next morning we still had banana pudding left, a little bit of banana pudding left for leftover. So I'm just in the kitchen like this the whole time, just like yes, banana pudding. So yeah, I'm just enjoying myself, man. So yeah, like I said, this for the most part, it was a fun Christmas. I got what I wanted. Honestly, I'm not complaining about my present because I've been like buying stuff for myself all year long. I've been buying games left and right, put all this crap into my computer, stuff like that. So I got everything I wanted,
Yeah, and I'm pretty easy to buy for. I just give me some Star Wars shit, and I did.
We're guys, man. Look, any women that's watching this, socks and underwear. That's it. That's all you need. We're good. Because trust me, we always need it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about always spending money on video games and Xbox. Like I know some chick that bought her boyfriend a PlayStation 5. Like, really? Okay, you love him. Christmas was fun. 616 man, what do? I'm glad you had fun with Christmas. All right. That being said, let's get back into character. Let's actually get to the podcast. We actually got a lot of stuff to talk about because for some reason, even though it's supposed to be a chill week, everybody, a lot of stuff dropped that we're going to get sink our teeth into. Before we do that, first thing we're going to do is bring back the old classic that people have been asked us to bring back. And Eli, you know what it is. Who is this? What do we got here? Scope Sexy? No, Scope Pexy. Scope Exy.
What up?
What up?
Welcome.
Yeah, glad you're listening. So yeah, we're gonna bring back a classic and let's see what we got here. Make sure you feel like
we'll get to it. We're gonna get to it.
We're gonna get to it. Never dying franchise. We're gonna get into the meat of that franchise. Before we get into it, we got some other stuff we're gonna talk about. We're gonna bring back a classic. We're gonna bring out the box office numbers. So Eli, give it to me. What was the #1 movie of the week?
Heard it was Spider-Man.
It was Spider-Man. Once again, Spider-Man Far From No Way Home. This was No Way Home from here. And he did, what did we do? 81 million just this week alone, which actually makes it the first pandemic era movie in the last 2 years to hit $1 billion. And it did it in a week. In a week. So the fact that nobody watching movies again, we're doing it.
Oh,
I'm
damn,
from Brazil.
Damn, we're taking it international.
We're international. Whoa, okay.
Worldwide. Comic book movies.
Hey,
worldwide.
Poppy.
Worldwide.
The comic book bullies of nations. What was that shit Batman comic you read last week?
Oh, Incorporated.
Oh yeah, that one. That's right. Let's see. Spider-Man hit $1 billion. Yes, it hit $1 billion in a week. Last week when we talked about it, it outgrossed Shang-Chi's entire box office, the highest grossing domestic movie in a week by itself. So it did $1 billion by itself. Now here's my thing, Eli. I really want to talk about it because people are already out there blaming Spider-Man for this, blaming Spider-Man for that. The reason, because all the other movies that came out supposed to hit, because look at all the box office numbers. I'm not going to read them one by one, but we got what we hear. We got Matrix Resurrection on there, but we got West Side Story. You got Licorice Pizza. You have, what was that, Nightmare Alley movie? So all this stuff is there, but they're saying they're blaming Spider-Man on those movies' box office return. You know what I say to that? Bullshit. Because if Spider-Man wasn't playing, were we really going to watch those movies in the theater? Was anybody going to go? I don't think so.
Probably.
I mean, it wasn't like those theaters were packed when Spider-Man was there. It was like, because think about it. Okay, so Spider-Man did all these crazy, insane numbers like that. But for the last 2 years, nobody went to the theaters. And keep in mind, before everybody say Marvel is bulletproof and Marvel can't be touched, and of course, a Marvel movie brings everybody out, Marvel dropped 4 movies this year. 3 of them flopped. So they're no longer bulletproof just like anybody else is. They all get hit. They all get touched. Spider-Man bailed them out just like it did everybody else in the movie theater. So that's all I had to say about that. But I am worried about Matrix Resurrection getting beat by Scene 2. But like I said,
is that an animation?
Yes, it's animation. Okay. But you got to remember, one of
movie.
It's a kids movie. Plus, one of them is you can watch it at home legally, and the other one, is at the theater. So you can't really compare that. Yeah. However,
so if you couldn't get into Spider-Man, you go see Sing.
You go see Sing. People are going to see, and you got some people that probably want to do both or one or the other anyway. But here's the thing. People saying comic book movies are bulletproof, right? This list proves that wrong because there is a comic book movie on this list, not named Spider-Man, that nobody saw. Kingsman.
I can't. Oh,
you can't see
did that come out? Yeah,
it did.
I need my glasses. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I need glasses too. You always see me squint on this podcast anyway. But yes, the Kingsman is.
Is that actually a comic book, or is that just a sequel to the comic book movie?
I tried to do research and I couldn't remember. I do know the first one is a comic book movie, and there were sequels to that comic book. Now, whether or not this was the sequel to the comic book, I don't know. I'm gonna do some research on it, but at the same time, I mean, hell, half of the Marvel movies are just made up shit anyway. They're just based off comic books. So let's count this too. Mainly, it's a comic book franchise, completely flopped. No one cared. Nobody saw it. So that just disproves everybody's theory that comic book movies are bulletproof. They're not. They can flop just like every other movie can, unless you're Marvel, because Kingsman is Marvel. So yeah. That being said, we can move on there because, like I said, everybody wants to just jump right into it. They want to talk about the Matrix. Everybody saw the Matrix. What is the Matrix? Intelligence wasn't his problem. David Beck, what's going on? Glad you're here because what do we got here? Kingsman is still a thing. I heard the new one is a prequel. Yes, the new one is a prequel, but I think the second one shit the bed so hard that I think that's why nobody cares about this movie or the franchise in general anymore. Eli, did you see the second one?
I did. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I actually liked it. I didn't see it in the theater, of course, but when I did finally saw it, I was like, wow, this is pretty good.
That's the thing. I never saw it because everybody says that it sucks. It was like, it's terrible, because I love the first one.
The first one's awesome. Dope. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one. It's more of the same. It's
okay.
Rated R. It was cool. I dug it.
Based off your recommendation, I'm gonna check it out because I think they have like a special on iTunes right now. You get both of them for like $15. Like, the first one and the second one. Yeah. So they give me a chance to watch it before we get to the third one. But yeah, like I said, we're just gonna jump into it. We saw a movie. Everybody saw a movie. Well, some people saw a movie. Looking at the box office, and they didn't release HBO numbers, but yeah. The Matrix Resurrections dropped this weekend on around the time of Christmas. You could have went to the series and saw it. Obviously, nobody did. But you could also watch it on HBO Max because it was on HBO Max. If it was there, you could see it. And what I'm hearing, I want everybody to know this HBO Max thing, this gravy train we've going on where you just watch movies at home, it ends with Matrix Resurrection. It stops now. They already said in 2022, it's back in the theaters. So all the movies
that kind of bums me out because I was enjoying this.
Right, but I'm thinking, and then in the long runs, I think it hurts them because I mean, if it was profitable for them, they would have kept it going. But obviously, I think it hurts them. That's why they're like, "Nah, we're gonna split." So plus they piss off the directors and the cast and members and stuff like that. Anyway, nobody wants another Scargill situation. So just go ahead, put the movie in the theater, then put it out on HBO Max. Maybe 45 days later, something like that. Because I think that's what they're gonna do with the Batman. Then they said the Batman is coming 45 days after theater release. So even then, even with that 45-day release, I think that's still going to hurt the box office. Because, okay, I can watch the movie now and pay for it and go to the theater and get, the Unicron virus. Or I can just wait 6 months from now, 6 weeks from now, which is a month and a half, and watch it at home. I can just do that. And because that's the way it was with Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, when it was in the theaters, people really didn't talk about it too much. They heard about it, but then people talk about it. When it was released on Disney Plus, then you start getting the internet chat about it. Oh, I saw this. Oh, this happened. Oh, that happened. So people were kind of waiting for that. And I think that's the kind of the trend what people are waiting for now. So that's what's going on. But like I said, we talked about the Matrix Resurrections online, Eli, briefly. I kind of got to feel what you thought about the movie. You kind of got to feel what I had about the movie. But now we're going to deep dive into it. We're going to, get into it and see what happens.
We're going to go down the rabbit hole.
We're going to go down the rabbit hole.
We're taking the red pill.
Symbolism.
Now, I didn't take any notes, so yeah, I didn't.
I took some. I didn't go do. I said I go do a PowerPoint. I'm not going to do a PowerPoint. I'm just going to.
But I've been talking about these movies for 20 years, so
right. And I think we do need to preface ourselves before we jump into, like, people need to understand and they check the temperature on us about how we feel about the Matrix franchise and all. Now, for those who don't know, we actually did an hour and a half long review of the first Matrix movie. It was me, Eli, right. Gomer, some
Jules
other guys,
and Adam, and we used to do that. I miss those days. We should do that again. I quite enjoyed that.
Gomer says he can't because family issues. I don't know what that means, but okay. But yeah, it was fun. But the thing is, I think we talked about the Matrix one movie, but we didn't talk about the other ones for obvious reasons, because that's when opinions of the franchise start getting divisive. The first one, universally beloved. Second and third one, people had different opinions on it. Me personally, I thought they sucked. That's just me. Here's my thing about the
Matrix. It ain't just movie.
You. It ain't just me. Right. Well, on this podcast, it's just me. Yeah. Because like I said, my thing about the Matrix, I think that honestly, I've watched these movies so many times that my enjoyment of these movies are based on how much time they spend in Zion. That's my thing. So the first one, no Zion. Talk about it, wasn't there. Second movie begins with Zion. Hated it. Once you got out of Zion, that movie slapped. That movie was awesome. I love that.
That seems to be the consensus. People just don't give a shit about the real world.
Basically, and the third one was all about Zion. So I don't give a shit until they got to the end where they had the DBZ, Goku and Vegeta fight in the rain. I was like, oh, this shit is awesome. So that's my thing with this one. So am I a diehard Matrix fan? Not really. Play some of the games, stuff like that. But I appreciate the franchise. But Eli, how do you feel about the franchise before we jump into this?
I'm one of the few that loved them all. And that's pretty much going forward with this one. I really looked forward to this one. I was really excited about it. I was really wondering what they were going to take, what direction they were going to go.
And that's another thing I think we need to put out also, because you were hyped for this movie. I wasn't.
That's right. You were saying it was going to suck.
Right.
And I was like, it just might.
Like before it even came out, I didn't see, I barely paid attention to the trailers. I don't even think I saw the trailer. I think I saw the first one and didn't even care about the other ones. But
but I liked them all. I think they're all, they all have different things to say. The thing about the Matrix movies is they make you think. It's full of symbolism and layers of all these different ideas. And I like that. I like doing that. I like when art makes you think and makes you read between the lines and the underlying social or political commentaries that movies or comics or whatever, shows, music, anything that makes you think. I dig that. Makes you analyze and leaves an impression. And that's what these movies did. All of them did with me. So yeah, that's what I enjoy, you know.
Okay, so now we can jump into it. Like I said, since you have the more positive opinion of these movies, I'm gonna let you start off first and just what did you think about the movie? Get down to brass tacks before we deep dive and jump down this rabbit hole. What do you think about the movie?
I thought it was okay.
What? Okay, it didn't blow your socks off. Wait, okay.
No, it didn't. It did not blow me away, and I think that's what I was expecting. I was expecting this to blow me away like the originals did. And that's just me having high expectations. And when it didn't blow me away, I was like, okay. But that's not saying I just still didn't enjoy it. It still made me think. It still was like a social commentary on the world we live in. It basically said the same things that the other one said, only in an updated, modern way. You know, it addressed the world that we live in today. And that's what I enjoyed about it. It did make me, after watching it, I did start thinking about it. And like I said, these movies make you think, they leave impressions. And after watching it a second time, I appreciate it a lot more. But no, I have issues with it. I thought, you know, as deep as it goes and it's full of all these ideas that I do appreciate as a movie, I felt it was paced a little slow. I felt they could have revealed the big reason why maybe 15 minutes before they did. I thought the action was a little underwhelming, but then, you know, Wu Ping fight choreography, that style of kung fu fighting in cinema just doesn't exist anymore. Yes. Tiger Chen, awesome dude. He was in Keanu Reeves' movie Man of Tai Chi. He was actually part of Wu Ping's stunt team on the original Matrix. He did work on this, but yeah, the fight scenes were a little underwhelming. You know, didn't have the grace and style like the originals did. But like I said, that doesn't exist anymore. That style of Hong Kong action doesn't exist even in Hong Kong, you know, or China. So yeah, I mean, as storytelling wise, it was a little underwhelming, but it still made me think. I still enjoyed the ride. I still enjoyed visiting that world. And yeah, I mean, that's the short list without going into any spoilers or getting too deep, you know.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Now, what I thought about this movie, it didn't suck.
It did.
I didn't think it sucked. It didn't. I know I was trolling online the whole time, stuff like that, because the movie, I did have problems with the movie. Don't get me wrong. I had tons of problems with it, but there were things I did like about the movie. I watched the movie, like I said, you watch it at home, you watch it at HBO by yourself a couple times, and you let the movie like sink in, you know, stuff that you can't get on the first time. And I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I do feel like that it almost felt almost like a generic sci-fi movie that I've seen before. And that you can blame that on the Matrix own success. Because like I said, when the Matrix first came out, it revolutionized sci-fi, you know, just like Star Wars did back in the 70s. It revolutionized movies. It revolutionized movies.
Bullet time, action, wire work. You know, the fight choreography, Charlie's Angels and Ben Affleck Daredevil. They were doing wire work. They sucked at it, but they were everything had wire work, you know, all of a sudden. It just, it revolutionized cinema, action scenes, you know, the Hot Topic. Yeah, fucking X-Men were wearing black leather. Hot Topic.
Because it was influenced by the Matrix, right?
Those first X-Men movies. I mean,
and that's another thing, like when we're talking about the Matrix, like, why are we talking about the Matrix on a comic book podcast? That's why. Because even though it's a movie, it's not based on a comic book. It has, not only does it have comic book influences, it wrote the blueprint on how to make comic book movies.
Yeah.
X-Men,
It used comic book art and applied it to cinema. Bullet time.
Manga also. Manga.
But anime, those, you know, Yeah, Neo doing bullet time and or Trinity doing her like crane kick and those frozen comic book moments. They're like a panel. It was like a living panel.
Mm-hmm.
So they're translating, like the Matrix movies took comic book aesthetics and translated it into filmmaking.
Right,
And you
which taught
saw
right,
that. Yeah.
right, which taught Hollywood how to make a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And they just took that aesthetic and applied it everywhere else. Okay, so we don't have to turn a movie into a, like, don't turn a comic book into a movie. We can turn a movie into a comic book.
Yeah, now like Zack Snyder, every fucking scene is slow motion.
Or even like Spider-Man, that Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. There was so many Todd McFarlane references or panels taken from there. John Romita panels.
Where that just slows down and you see every little moment. Yeah. I mean, it just revolutionized filmmaking and action and fight scenes. I mean, John Wick. But John Wick is directed by Keanu Stuntman, who was his stunt double on The Matrix and worked on the choreography. So it all
and he's in this movie.
Yeah, it all goes back to The Matrix,
Right.
But Matrix was influenced by Hong Kong. Like, that's what I loved about the first Matrix movies, is like it was everything I wanted to see at the time. It was comic books, sci-fi, Hong Kong cinema, John Woo movies. It was all in there.
It was that underground subculture, all wrapped
anime,
of the 90s, wrapped into one. That's what
video games. It had all those references that us nerds were just ate it up.
Right. So that's the thing. So while we talking about why we sucking the first Matrix dick, let's talk about this movie. So you can't reinvent the wheel, or at least they didn't reinvent the wheel. But here's the thing, Eli. I thought they were going somewhere with it. Where I'm like, okay, movie, you have my attention. That's why I didn't hate the movie, because for a hot second, the movie had my attention, because at the beginning of it, okay, we got Keanu, he's playing, basically he's in the real world, or not the real world. He's in the Matrix. He's a video game designer.
Yeah.
The whole Matrix was made up. Now he has to second guess himself whether or not the Matrix is real, whether or not he made the stuff up in his head. He's gone crazy. He may have put people that he know in the Matrix himself. So it's that, is it real or is it not real? It almost gave you like a Total Recall feel to it. Eli, are you a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Not so much.
Okay.
My baby, I had to watch some because my baby mama was.
Okay. It's CW. You got to love it. But there's an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that stuck out to me. And the name of the episode was, I'm forgetting it just now. Anyway, it's in the 6th season. The whole point of the episode was that Buffy, something happened to her where she actually woke up in an insane asylum, and the doctors were telling her that everything you've experienced on season 1 through 5, it was all made up in your head. This doctor here, this villain here, that whole thing with Batman is in Arkham Asylum, really, and everybody's just, all his doctors are really villains, Dr. Harley Quinn's a doctor. Same thing. So I'm thinking they're going to do that with this movie, where it's going to make you second guess whether or not the first Matrix or trilogy was even real, or did he make it up? And then going forward in the movie, is anything he experiencing real or is it not? And I'm thinking it's gonna like do a whole mind fuck on you. Didn't do that. It completely went away.
Like, it's like the bad acid trip. Your life is a joke and everybody's in on it.
Right. And so it's like, okay, reality is only what you perceive to be as reality. I'm thinking, okay, movie, you had my attention. But then like the second half of the movie just completely just threw that out the window, and like, now we just back another Matrix movie. I'm like, oh man, you squandered all the good stuff you had, and you did this. You had an awesome concept of a movie. That's another reason why I complain about the movie, because
that does sound interesting. I like that version of the movie.
See, you're not the only one that make cool ass, treatments.
But no, for me, like that, and that's where the movie kind of suffered for me. It was like, I went in, I'm like, I know this is all the Matrix. He's in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting the whole time I'm watching it. I'm like, why is he alive? Why is Neo and Trinity alive? Why? And I was like, because this is all fake. This is all a simulation. I knew that because I know the story. I know this world. I know this universe. I know this is all fake. Why is he back in here? And I'm thinking, okay, obviously the machines have his data, all his, memories. Did they just put his memories into somebody else because they could do that? And I'm thinking,
and actually they did do that.
And they did do that. They were giving them different digital self images or whatever,
And that's another thing, because if you really want to go down this rabbit hole and think, like, we start talking about themes and stuff like that in the movie, one of the themes was, I feel like, reincarnation.
Yeah.
You know, even though Neo and Trinity were the same actors reoccurring playing that role, how everybody else saw them, they were different people.
And that
Meanwhile, everybody else that was in the movie, like Agent Smith or Morpheus, were played by different people because their soul was the same, but they look different. And the whole thing about Morpheus being in the movie, like he is a recreation of Neo's memory of Morpheus. And that's the whole theme of the movie is like, if you remember it, does your memory make it real? Like, what's the difference between your imagination and your memory? If it's all in your head, what's the difference?
Yeah. And that's one of the themes too.
And that's one of the themes of the movie. Yeah. Like I said, if we want to go down that road, but
yeah. But I was like, and that's just me applying my expectations and what I believe this should be to the movie. And I was thinking, okay, why are they alive? And I was expecting some big mind-blowing reason that was gonna blow my mind and shit, like the old movies did.
Right.
Like, why are Neo and Trinity alive? Are they gods in the machine? Like, didn't we just talk about this last week?
They said Deus Machina. They said it this. I didn't know how to pronounce it this time, but they said it like 5 times this movie. Like, that's how you say it.
Yeah. Okay. Gods in the machine.
Gods in the machine. Ghost in the shell. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I was expecting superhero Neo, like God mode Neo.
Right.
That's what I was expecting. So I'm like wondering, why did they keep them alive? And then at the end, spoilers, when they reveal why they're alive, they had more power. They were just superconductors, and they kept them alive because Neo and Trinity had more power.
Basically, they reworked the Matrix where it's mainly just those 2 people working instead of like having everybody. It's just them.
Yeah, and it was that's it. They're just batteries again. It's just machines doing machine shit. And
the narrative seems so flimsy to me. That's another thing if you like really think about it, because you had Jada Pinkett who came back and she's like, no, Neo, I'm gonna help you. No, I don't want to help you. If I help you, it's going to destroy this whole symbiotic relationship I had with the machines. This should change your mind. Why change your mind? If you got a good thing going, instead of making sense why you should help Neo help Trinity.
They left anyways. I mean, he escaped. She did put him in prison.
And and they escape and he come back. But I'm just saying, her being on board, it just felt like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's the thing. I feel like this movie needed this felt like the first draft of the script. It needed more reworking of the script because, like I said, I like this movie, but I had a ton of problems with it because I felt like they were throwing out so many themes like reincarnation, like ageism, like perception versus reality, like sanity, realism. I think they were throwing out so many themes that they got lost in their own sauce.
Well, I think it was more of a. I mean, they were referencing all that. I think it was more of a satire. Like the first hour was more just satire and poking fun at the Matrix, not only the movies, but the fandom around it and what people thought and why people hated the sequels. That whole White Rabbit montage, I thought was gold. It's just them all the game developers. What is the Matrix? The Matrix is religious commentary. It's trans politics. It's statements on communism and capitalism.
It means different things to different people.
Yeah, it means different things to all these different people, and they're trying to figure out because they're going to make a new Matrix. I mean, it got so meta and self-referential that it was like almost a farce at one point. Like that he's working for Warner Brothers and shit,
right. And they actually say it in the movie as Warner Brothers. And I think that's the whole point they were trying to make in the movie. Like it was getting really, really meta. I'm done with the Matrix. I don't want anything to do with the Matrix, but the suits, want you to come back and they're going to do it regardless whether you here or not. And they'll cancel a contract. So, and I think people need to understand that Neo is a stand-in or a point of view character for Lana Wachowski. That's who it is. Basically, that's exactly what it is. She made the Matrix. She's done with the Matrix. She wants to work on something else. The studio, Warner Brothers, it's not even a quote. It's not even subtext. Yeah. It's Warner Brothers. They don't want her to work on. Yeah,
because they shut down this movie during COVID, and she almost said, "Fuck it, let's just scrap the movie." But no one's like, "No, you got to finish it." So she reluctantly finished it.
Right, and that's the thing. It felt like Neo didn't want to do this movie. I mean, not Keanu. I'm talking Neo in the movie didn't want to go through this narrative, and it almost felt like a commentary of Lana Wachowski. She didn't want to do this movie. Like they forced her. We all know they forced her to do the movie. Otherwise, because if she turns this movie down, they may cancel the other projects she may want to do. Because in the movie, Neo is working on another game called Binary, and everybody like, we don't care about your new game. Make the Matrix again. Do your old shit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think Gomer loved this movie, and we were talking online. He's like, he thought it was very meta, but almost to a fault. Like that might have been like one of its flaws, that it was so meta, and that's a lot of people are saying that it's too meta, But I looked at it as, like I said, it was satire. It was poking fun at everything, at itself.
But I don't think it would. I don't think it is. I don't think it is self-aware. I think it is satire, but I don't think it's on purpose. I don't think it's done on purpose. I think with a lot of time with the I'm just saying, I think with a lot of time with the Matrix movies, people project their intellectualism on these movies. I don't think these movies are as smart as people think they are. I think there are dumb action movies and people think they mean so. I do the first one. I think the first one is a smart script, is a smart narrative. And I think the second ones just start throwing in so many themes and so many psych one-on-one philosophies that they just pulled out of their ass that people just like, oh, it means stuff, And I think you can say that's a parody in this movie, but I think they were just like, no, let's just throw a whole bunch of stuff in and just hope people just grab onto it. And people are doing that. People are just grabbing on to just random things, stuff like that. But it's so many of them that it doesn't have a central core theme to it. It doesn't have a central narrative to it. The movie is just getting lost. For instance. Okay. Like, for instance, like I said, the movie that I wanted to see where it was going to be like, is it real? Is it fake? Stuff like that. Because here's the thing. The thing I hate about the movie the most, they gave me 15 seconds of Christina Ricci. And she went away. She's in the movie for 15 seconds and then leave. Why is she in the movie and they just do that? That is, you can't give me Christina Ricci and take her away. You can't do that.
Okay. Oh, I got an image too here.
Okay.
I forgot I got this. Let's see. I thought you were going to lose your shit when you saw this, though.
Oh, let me see what we got. Oh, I can't see it. Can you blow it up?
Let's see. Let me try. Where's it at? Let me try. So this is Seek or Sequoia.
Right, Sequoia.
But do you see what he's wearing? He's wearing a Dragon Ball Z scouter thing.
That Vegeta, I wasn't even paying attention. I
saw that. Hey, he's wearing a Dragon Ball Z thing. I was like, oh shit! All the Dragon Ball Z fans are gonna fucking shit.
You caught that in the cut, but nobody caught that because if you would have saw that, people would just be like, oh, it would have been headlines everywhere. I missed that. I completely missed that. But yeah, I know it's. I know it's.
You know how comic book fans are. Ooh, I know that shit.
like Killmonger when he wore blue. Oh, it's like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. And Shang-Chi, I saw all kind of Dragon Ball Z shit from that. I'm gonna do a video on that one day, but I'm not gonna do it right now.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying about how it's full of all these ideas, but the story suffers.
Right.
And I tend to agree a little bit. It's like Ta-Nehisi Coates writing comics.
Right.
Smart dude, but goddamn, it's just all talking and no action.
Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay on the path.
And did I think this movie did a little bit? Yeah. Like I said, I thought it spent maybe 10, 15 minutes too long getting to the movie. Yes, this movie ends up becoming a love story. Once Neo says, I'm going to go get Trinity out, that's when it becomes a movie. And it's like over an hour in, here's the movie. This is the quest. This is the conflict. Now it's a story. Because at first it was just all, him in the Matrix. It's all fake. It's why. And I'm just thinking, okay, let's get on to it. Like they're building a mystery that I already know the answer to. And I have that problem with like Predator movies. I know it's a Predator.
Just get to the point. Right.
Yeah. What the problem with reboots? They want to suck in a new audience that doesn't really give a shit, but they're still trying to build up this mystery that we know the answer to. And that's what I felt was happening.
Right, because all you're doing is just doing the same beats we did before, so why drag this out? Yeah. But my thing about this movie is that I feel like the themes that they're giving, I don't know if they understand the themes that they're giving, because I think they're giving like conflicting messages sometimes. I'm gonna give you a little one that there's a bunch of stuff in here that rubbed me the wrong way. For instance,
the blue glasses?
Not nail patch your hair. The glasses. The glasses rub me the wrong way. I'm gonna tell you why the glasses rub me the wrong way. What color are the glasses? The glasses are blue.
Are blue, yes.
Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. I know
Okay.
I'm gonna take a while to get there. Okay, let me throw the picture back up. Okay, so like I said, he has blue glasses on. What is his job? He is a therapist. His job is to therapize and bring this guy here. So the fact that he's wearing blue glasses, he's trying to put him in the social construct and basically trying to say that therapy is evil. That's my whole thing I got from that.
Or he's just, oh, I didn't get that. I just thought, oh, he's the distraction. He's trying to distract him from, because every
Right.
time.
But I'm saying he is a therapist. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think he was just there to keep Neo docile. Because every time, and same thing with Trinity, every time you saw Neo like see the code or see like something weird, like this is a simulation. Every time he got the clue that this is not real and this is a simulation,
right?
Then you got a distraction. You got a phone call, or his coworker would show up, or Trinity's children would show up. It was like it's always distracted them from figuring out that this is
because that was his whole point in the movie. Like get him close, but make sure they stay. But my thing is, why make him a therapist? That it was very, very deliberate for them to do that. That's all I'm saying.
I guess. I mean, I didn't take away that therapy was evil out of it. I just thought, oh, he knows Neo. He knows the human mind, like he said at the end.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you got blue glasses. We already know blue means that you are part of the social construct.
Yeah, it's the blue
so he's
pill.
Trying to bring it's the blue pill. So they basically saying therapy is the blue pill.
And the Oracle, or what's her face, the Priya, whatever her name was, had the red glasses.
Right. Free your mind. Neo.
Yeah.
But that's actually what pissed me off. This is what pissed me off. And I've been showing. Remember this image that I posted? Okay.
And I saw that when it happened too. I actually paused it because I was watching it with my baby's mama, and I was like, "Hey, was that a mask with the Matrix code?"
Right. And I honestly, Eli, I don't think a lot of people caught that. I even posted a screenshot. You saw how I posted a screenshot. People didn't catch it. People didn't get it, even from just a screenshot. So I think what they're trying to say, like I said, we keep talking about the social construct. We keep talking about how the Matrix want everybody to be this hive mind. So if you make the COVID mask a part of the Matrix, because that is exactly what it is. It is a COVID mask.
It's a mask. Yeah.
It's a COVID mask. That's what it is. So if you're saying that to wear the COVID mask to be part of the hive mind, it's almost like you villainizing that as much as you villainizing therapy.
I don't know if I was that's I didn't take it as, oh, if you wear a mask, you're living in a simulation.
That's what I felt like. I was like, because the thing is, like,
I took it as a comment on what's happening now, that people do think COVID was a hoax and there's like this conspiracy going on, and that's my point. Right. I didn't take it as, oh, if you wear a mask, you're gonna, you're part of the sheeple or whatever. I didn't take it as that.
That's what I took it as, because like we said, Lena Wachowski is putting herself into this character. She wrote the story, putting this character in there. So is this how she feels about therapy? Is this how she feels about anti-vaccination or COVID mask? Because let's just look, she's a Hollywood director, so we already know she's liberal. We know that much.
Yeah.
So
trans, I'm sure, yeah.
Well, we already know she's liberal. We don't have to look it up. We just know. So why is she putting in these right-wing, themes in her movies? And I just feel like she's just throwing in shit that just trigger you. I don't know whether she believes it or not. As long as it triggers you, that's all that matters.
And I think that's the point, is it just makes you think. It makes you like, why? Because I did the same thing. Was that a COVID mask? Oh shit.
Right.
Keanu Reeves had an interview with Verge talking about having dinner with a Hollywood producer. Producer wanted Keanu to explain the Matrix to his kids, said they'd never seen it. Kids said rather have the blue pill.
and that's what the movie is. It's like, what if Neo took the blue pill? That's what. Like,
and
the
he
first
says
half
that,
of it,
like the therapist. What's his name? I can't. He had another name. He wasn't.
He didn't have the analyst. The analyst. That's all they call him.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. Because I felt like I said, he is an analyst working for Warner Brothers, like the suits. So I feel like the architect was like, I'm gonna just make this shit by myself. This guy is doing focus testing. This dude is doing, because that's how he made this Matrix, this new one.
And that's why that goes back to why he kept Neo and Trinity alive. That they wanted the one to create the Matrix, but only under his terms. They still wanted a Matrix created by the one, but he still wanted to control the one. You know what I mean? That's why he had Trinity there. That's why because Smith and Neo were like connected, because they were opposites. That's why Smith was part of his partner in the game company and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that all
because there's all kind of
yeah.
other like fan theories out there that Smith was really the one. I mean, there's plenty of people that have seen that too, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all, to me, what I got out of it is like philosophy and truth, and you know, what I found fascinating about the Matrix is artificial intelligence, wondering why its purpose, you know, like Blade Runner, like Terminator and all that stuff. Like when a robot, and I read a bunch of Isaac Asimov stories when I was a
Free
kid.
Guy.
I never saw Free Guy.
That's why I keep saying I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna read this comment,
but
because
you know,
I knew that was gonna piss people off when I said that. The analyst based success to the architect, right? But like I said, he's an analyst, not an architect. And he does all kind of, because that's what Hollywood is now. Yeah.
But he even said the architect hated humanity, hated human nature. You know, he was all about facts and equations, whereas the analyst knew how humans thought and their thought process and the nature of humanity, and knew that choice, that they had free will and choice, which is something machines do not have. Machines have a purpose. The key maker had he kept saying, we're only here what we're here to do, because he's a machine. He's a program. Once his purpose is served, he gets turned off like a machine. You turn the light off, you turn the switch on and off. They do a job. Where a human, they have free will. You tell it to do something. You tell a human to do something, they can still choose whether or not if they want to do it. And
but at the same time, this movie is trying to say that humans don't have free will either. That was the movie was trying to say.
But Neo is the one that says yes, you can have free will. But
did Neo ever have free will?
That's from part 2. That's a big theme in part 2, is whether or not are we actually free, or are we because of our belief systems and because of our upbringing or whatever, our
programming.
Yeah, you know, we're here because we're free, or we're here because we're not free. That whole the scene where Neo fights all the Smiths in that park, I think is brilliant. I love that scene, and his whole monologue about, you know, it's purpose. Without purpose, there's no function. You know,
see,
we have no.
That's where we disagree, because that's when I feel like, okay, Major, you just pulling just philosophy out your ass. You really don't know where you're going with this. To get to the fight scene, you know, but he's right though. He's like, without purpose, there is no free will for a machine. Whereas Neo had the choice. That's the point. Is choice was the flaw in the system. But he did, because in the end, when the architect says you have a choice, I've figured it out. Why this system doesn't work is because humans have free will. So because you're going to choose, you're going to make a choice. I'm going to give you a choice. Either you save your beloved and destroy humanity, or you come with me and we'll remake the Matrix. This is the choice. But was that a choice? But was it a choice? That's the thing. Was that something he was always going to do? I'm gonna tell you this. I don't have the screenshot from right now. I want everybody to rewatch that scene when Neo goes left to go choose Trinity in the back of the TV screens. Before, they was all doing something different. Every single one of them do the exact same thing. He didn't have a choice. Okay. I'm just saying that was the whole point of that. Anyway, like I said, we weren't going to talk about the first movie.
But
the second movie.
But I'm just saying, Neo chose to go save Trinity, and Zion didn't get destroyed, because that was going to be the result,
right?
You know, because Neo's mind was free.
True. All right, but let me get back to what I was saying about Free Guy, because like I said, people got pissed at me for saying stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like it was a better Matrix movie than this Matrix. You want to talk about all kind of themes and symbolism and Ghost in this Machine and Deus Ex Machina. It does all that. People pay no attention to it because Ryan Reynolds, doing Star Wars jokes and farting and shit like that. You got a pink muscle-bound bunny in the movie. So people don't see shit like that in the movie. But all those themes, it's there in there. It's a popcorn movie, but it's there. It's not dressed up like Matrix.
That's why the sequels get so much hate. Because the first Matrix movie, it follows. Oh, what happened to the Machiavelli? Oh, the Merovingian. The Merovingian.
Yeah, the Merovingian.
He's.
I love that scene. I love that scene. I love this because he actually added more mythology to the Matrix just by showing up. Yeah, because he was saying like because he almost felt like a boomer. He felt like a boomer. That's what he felt like.
But that's what he was in the first movie. He was an exile program that didn't want to give in to this new system, and he kept all the deleted programs, the criminals or whatever, the outdated outlawed programs. That's where he kept them, because he was the one that liked the old ways,
Right.
And he even said it in this movie. He was like, art was better, books were better, story.
We like originality. He was blaming him. He was blaming Neo for Facebook. He was blaming Neo for Wikipedia. I'm like, okay, now this movie's getting like really, really meta.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, whereas the first Matrix movies were more, the Matrix was more of a metaphor for like, your job or just the system, this capitalist system that we live in. This Matrix movie, it represents the internet. That's that line where Bugs is saying, the Matrix is where dreams are weaponized and ideas die. And, there's some of us that believe so much in you, but, it becomes trivial. And, that the hatred
I'm so glad you brought it up. They actually painted a bad light on Neo in this movie because, and that's what I kind of liked about this movie, because in the first movie, it was all about Neo is the white savior. Neo is Jesus. Neo is all stuff like that. But in this movie, it actually shows the consequences of that. He didn't just create his own religion when he left. He created a cult. Yeah. And Morpheus, it painted Morpheus in a bad light because it almost made Morpheus seem like he was Jim Jones. Like he was making everybody drink the Neo Kool-Aid after he left.
And that's human nature. And that's a comment on religion and religious fanatics that people will believe. And even the Oracle said in the old movies, people will believe so strongly in their beliefs that they're blinded by it. That's what the point of the Dune movies. People blindly.
I would say that was just like, we only know that because they only made the first movie. Yeah. But from what I've been reading about in the second movie, that's kind of like what it goes to. Once you start getting so dogmatic, it can hurt you in the long run.
Religion is a good idea. It keeps people comfortable. It brings peace to your life. It helps you sleep at night. But once you start making it a law and trying to enforce those laws, that's when it becomes a problem.
Right. And then they built the shrine not only to Morpheus, but everybody that believed the stuff that Morpheus believed. There was a whole graveyard of them.
And Neo was like, Neo even said, I didn't believe in the one either. Everyone thought I was the savior. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to? And that's what I'm saying is back to what I was talking about, the old movies. The first movie, everyone loved because it followed the traditional hero's journey. Neo becomes this hero, this savior. He's the awesome badass at the end he's Superman at the end of the movie. Literally, he's flying in the air. The second movie, the reason why we love sequels is because we get to revisit these characters and see them be the awesome people they are. Why we love Indiana Jones or all these superhero movies, because we show up, they say their wisecracks and shit, and
on to the next adventure.
And they go on another adventure. But in the second Matrix movie, Neo is like doubting himself. He's like, he's feeling the pressures of being that savior. He's like, okay, I'm supposed to save the world. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And it was the deconstruction of the hero's journey. And I think that's why people didn't respond so well, because they expected Neo to be, again, God Neo. You know what I'm saying? And when he's just like doubting himself through the whole movie, people are like, what the fuck is this shit? And then the third one is all about, that just goes off the rails in another direction.
Right.
But that's what I loved about it. Like it defied all expectations and made me think,
But that's my thing about it. Like I said, we look at all the themes we just talked about in this movie. If they would just concentrated on one and just made that a through line, like if you want to make it where the Neo religion or Neo cult sent Zion down the road, okay, make that a movie. Talk about that. Don't make it a one through line and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
I think that's where the script got jumbled. Yeah.
Going into this movie is Matrix World. It said something like 60 years later. Yeah, it was like 60 years.
Yeah, it was like 60 years later after the third Matrix. Yeah. That's why Jada Pinkett was so old in this movie.
Yeah, going into this movie where I'm like, okay, I'm expecting Neo to be like God mode, the God in the machine, and be totally badass. And again, it wasn't until the end of the movie. Now him and, spoilers, now he's back to God mode, and now he's going to recreate. Now he's going to create the Matrix.
With Trinity. So it's almost like that Adam and Eve type, thing they were trying to do.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting the traditional hero's tale again. And I forgot, and this is back to what I was saying, what I've been saying for the past 20 years is like, to me, the Matrix movies are like art house action.
I mean, but that's why it took off. That's why it took off.
Yeah, they're big blockbusters and full of awesome action scenes, but they're also like an art house movie. You know, it's like a David Lynch movie. Like David Lynch movies they're weird and you don't know what they're about, and you're kind of like, what the fuck am I watching most of the time? But the kid who
he died in 3.
I'm sure no, he didn't die. I'm sure he probably died, or he's probably one of the followers of Morpheus. I'm thinking. The kid, yeah,
probably so, yeah. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there's these art house movies that are just weird and out there, and that just are about making people dig into the themes and not so, and the narrative comes second. I think that's what the Matrix movies are, to me, anyways. But and that's what I like about them, and that's why I loved WandaVision, because it wasn't so much about a story; it was about her feelings and her emotions and what she was going through, and using every episode to sort of represent that. Everyone's going, what the fuck has happened? What the fuck has happened? Well, she feels like shit.
Because they want answers now, right? Instead of just letting the story. She feels like shit.
That's what's happening. That's what that show's about. Her feeling like her mourning. And every episode was pointed that out. And that's what I loved about it.
Right. The point was reality sucks. So I'm going to just create my own. That's what it was.
Yeah. And I think
or not even I'm gonna create my own. I'm gonna just absorb myself into another reality, like TV, like movies, like whatever. I'm gonna just focus on this and not worry about other shit over here.
Yeah, or like Black Panther. Without Black Panther's themes and all that commentary that's going on, it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just a regular action movie, a regular superhero movie. But because it's so awesome, is because it has those underlying themes of colonialism and isolationist and all that shit that we took out of it. And that's what makes it so awesome, is because we read, it hits us in a different way and makes us think about these things.
Which why I go back to Free Guy. Because I
gotta watch this Free Guy.
I'm just saying, don't go on the Free Guy just like, oh shit, I
it better open my third eye, man.
No, it's not gonna do that, man. This is not Neil Gaiman, Grant Morrison. Just but I'm just saying, when I watch, like I say, and that's the time thing with art, with different things in art, you take away different things from it. For instance, this is a comic book podcast. Eli, there are plenty of people out there that think this is complete bullshit. Everything we talk, if we even mention what this podcast is about, it's like, oh, really? They still make those things. They think it's the most dumbest, two-dimensional, superficial shit ever. But however, our job that we do on this podcast, take this shit that people think is meaningless and look deep into it. We go down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what there is, there's always a deeper meaning. You can look at it, even if it is something as stupid looking as Free Guy. You can look at that movie and look at existentialism. You can look at Ghost in the Shell. You can look at Soul in the Machine and corporalism and capitalism. It's all in there.
Yeah,
even though it's a Fortnite parody.
Yeah, I'm sitting here reading Immortal Hulk and I'm fucking tearing up.
Right.
Like from a comic book. Like that.
Right.
Like, yeah, these are valid forms of storytelling, and when done well, they can do that. They can make you think and tap into your emotions and I mean, that's what good art does.
Right. Because like I said, if you say Incredible Hulk, everybody just knows smashy smash, smash, smash. That's it. But we know the Hulk is one of the most cerebral, comic book, like Marvel comics out there.
Yeah.
Because comic writers have done all kind of just interesting, crazy shit. Mindscape they done with him. Diagnosed with all kind of. He has a therapist. In the comics, like who else does that? But like I said, the people just watch movies and TV shows and cartoons. They don't get that side of Hulk. They don't know how deep the rabbit hole or the iceberg of Hulk goes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like you can look at anything and it's stuff below the surface if you look hard enough. But that's not the only movie reminding me of you. I know this was going to piss you off. I didn't get a chance to troll people with this. I'm going to troll people with it now. It also reminded me briefly of Space Jam 2. I'm gonna tell you why.
I thought you were gonna say the Mario Brothers.
That was the third one. I ain't got there yet, but yeah, it reminded me of Super Mario Brothers also. But the reason
you go deep into Mario.
But I can go with I was trolling with the Mario thing, but it did remind me of Mario. But the reason I said it reminded me of Space Jam 2 because the whole movie is about the hero trapped in an algorithm built by Warner Brothers, and their guide is Bugs Bunny. going through this digital server to rescue a loved one. I'm
and
like,
Bugs, but there was a character, her name Jessica,
and her name was Bugs
Her
Bunny.
name was Bugs, yeah.
In a rebooted franchise that both of them said they want nothing to do with it.
Oh shit!
So,
where's the black cat, man? This is a glitch, man.
Glitch in the Matrix. You know? So I'm just like, holy shit! They really remade Space Jam 2 again. That's what I took from it. So now go back and watch Space Jam 2 and see if you can get the existential crisis from it. Gods and men, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm done trolling. But I really did see all that shit. Really did. All right.
Yeah.
But can we move on? Pat,
In the end, I give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. It didn't blow me away like I wanted it to, or I was expecting it to, but that's just my own fault for expecting it to do.
Right.
Yeah. But I still enjoyed it.
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Like I said, I thought I was gonna give it worse than that. I thought it was gonna be just a piece of shit movie that's just gonna come in just a simple cash grab. But there were interesting things that did catch my attention. So I'm just like, huh. But at the same time, it's the Matrix. That action got to be better than what it was. That action was so fucking sloppy. That's why I'm like, that to me, that's an unforgivable sin.
I did enjoy the ending, the motorcycle chase when the motherfucker.
Oh, the zombie movie. That gave it a point. I like when the Matrix turned to a zombie movie,
I was like, holy
shit! Falling, and it was everywhere to turn to Resident Evil. I like, okay, movie. Now I'm back on board because I was kind of zoning out for a while, but that got me back on board.
The Superman comic, which one? Where they Kandor was re-biggened or whatever. What the fuck was that? Was that a Frank Miller book? Brainiac re-biggened Kandor, and all the Kryptonians were like bombing themselves into Earth and like destroying Earth, like there were nuclear missiles, and they were just. That might have been a Frank. That sounds like a Frank Miller. That's a Frank Miller. I think it was one of the Dark Knight books. But yeah, so the Kryptonians are just like crashing themselves into Earth and basically nuclear bombing the whole Earth, and it's like crazy. That's what that scene reminded me of. Yeah.
Oh, but 616 man, you're right. They said that's the reason Morpheus is in this one, because in one of those video games, which is supposed to be canonical, he was killed off. So that's why he's not here. I didn't play it. I didn't even know it even existed. But
the only game I played was that Enter the Matrix, the one that came out when those movies came out. The one
is that the one with Jada Pinkett or with Neo?
Yeah, where you play as Jada.
Yeah, I played both of them. Okay. Yeah.
There were no Max Payne, but yeah.
Yeah, they tried to be, but yeah. All right. So let's move on past it. I just want to briefly talk about this next one. We're going to talk about Hawkeye for a second. Like I said, it was Hawkeye Season 6. We're not going to just dip so deep into Hawkeye. We're just going to just briefly talk about it.
I called it. What Echo shot the Kingpin.
And that's my thing, Eli. I don't know if they should have did that yet. That's my thing. I think they should have saved that for her show. Maybe. Because now, what do I have to look for on her show?
Well, I think she's probably gonna. Yeah, what is she gonna do? Just become a good guy now? Well, she's a criminal in this one, and now she's gonna go not be a criminal.
Yeah, so a lot of exploration posed. Yeah, so that's my thing about that. But like I said, I feel like they should have saved some of that stuff where they just ran through all of her plot just like that. Let's just say some of it. But we do want to talk about the thing that we've already been theorizing the whole time. I'm trying to see if I can get a picture of it. Can't find it. Anyway, Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
So Kingpin is there. He was there. We saw him. And I want to ask you a question, Eli. Is this the same Kingpin from Netflix? It's a question. Is
it a simulation?
Or is it a variant? Or what do you think? What do you think? Is it the same? Because Vincent D'Onofrio said he played him the exact same way. But...
is this the MCU one? I think it's the MCU one. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Netflix shows were intended to be a part of that universe. They made references to the Battle of New York in those shows.
Kinda. You
didn't see it because of the budget and all that shit, but I think they were trying to be in the same universe. So yeah, but I didn't read too much into it. I forgot about Loki, and I didn't watch all of What If, so I don't.
my thing. I mean, my
Daredevil
thing
is in the Daredevil. Charlie Cox. Daredevil.
I mean, I'm not saying that he hopped over from another dimension. I'm just saying that he's been here the whole time. But I feel like there are differences. I mean,
or is it Agent Smith? No.
Right. But like I said, he's got the Hawaiian shirt. I don't remember a Hawaiian shirt from Netflix, so he's got a little bit more fashion sense.
It's the summertime, maybe. I don't
It's
know.
some
Or no, it's the
yeah.
wintertime.
It's
This
the
is
winter
Christmas.
time, so but he wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Well,
Maybe,
whatever.
yeah, what
Okay,
is he
yeah.
wearing a Hawaiian shirt for?
Well, it's a reference to a comic that I didn't read.
Oh, I thought it was like The
Okay.
Simpsons or whatever.
Now, is he dead?
No, he's not dead.
Right. Okay. And here's the thing. They didn't show a post-credit scene of it, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna prove why he's not dead. So we can just put this to rest. Because right before Maya pulls the trigger, what does he say? Families sometimes don't always see eye to eye. Boom. There you go. What happens in the comic? He gets blinded.
Yeah.
They're telling you what happened. He didn't die. He basically got shot. He's gonna wear eye patch next time he shows up. They didn't get anything. But that's what pissed everybody off about it, Eli, because after the post-credit scene, where they thought there was going to be another, tracksuit mafia thing or Echo thing or Kingpin thing, instead we got
what's his face? Put it on the clown makeup or whatever.
Right, none of that. It was just I could do this all day. That's what they gave us. So people were pissed. People were pissed. People were mad. They're angry. I didn't mind it. I look, when I saw it in the first episode, I was like, you know what? I'd like to see that whole thing. And guess what? They gave it to me because I was gonna search it on YouTube, like where is it? Give me the whole thing, but they gave me the whole thing, so I got to search for it. So it's right there, and it was catchy. They got a bunch of lyrics in there that actually kind of like dissing them. They're kind of funny. The choreography I thought was pretty well done for a Disney Plus Marvel show. I like pretty good. Plus we already know that this is going to be like a attraction at Disney World. You're going to go to Disney World. You're going to pay money and see it in live action. You're going to see it. I guarantee you. Let's see what we got. Kingpin is completely different and much stronger. Yes, that's what I was saying. Kingpin is much stronger in this one. I think that's why I think it's not the same Kingpin. They did all kind of shit. Ran him with a car, shot him with arrows, and he just kept coming. Yeah, but that's my thing.
Yeah,
but
right.
I think
didn't a Punisher whoop his ass in prison and shit?
Yeah, but in this shit, he got hit by a car and just got him and just kept coming. I'm like, okay, he's fucking. It's like the comic,
Yeah,
like
pretty much
people online, like, people like, is Kingpin? Does he have the super soldier serum? No, he's just a big motherfucker. That's all he was. That's his only superpower. In the comics, they shot him in the face with blindness for a while until they got research and rehabilitation in Japan. Exactly. So he's not dead. They can bring him back.
Yeah.
But my thing about everybody getting pissed off about the "I can do this all day" thing because they wanted something else. They wanted Easter eggs. They thought, when the scroll's going to show up.
Because
like,
the internet is where dreams and ideas go to die.
my thing, and my
it's
thing
the Matrix. That's why.
It's right, because you're always making up these stupid ass fan theories and then get pissed off when the fan theories don't exist. They never promised you this stuff anyway. Why are you getting pissed off by this stuff? And why does everything have to be a commercial for the next thing? Why does everything have to be homework for something? Why can't the thing just be a thing? Why can't we just sit here and watch this dumbass play and just enjoy it? Is that okay to just enjoy something? Does it matter if it's not canonical? Does it matter that Steve Rogers or Peter Parker wasn't sitting in the stands? Who cares? Just enjoy it. Stop worrying about what's coming. Just enjoy what is. That's a philosophy for Marvel and for life. We do it all here at Comic Book Bullies.
Yeah, I don't know who got molested by that play, but what a bunch of
right. Like it was nothing. Just enjoy it. It's fun, anyway. But can we move on past that? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies. We sometimes talk about comic books, but we're gonna talk about comic books this week.
Comic Spock, we're back in this bitch with the comics, yo.
We're back in comic. Right. We know that's when everybody just completely just drops off. Look, I can cut this off now. No, stick around. We had some good comics at least we had some comics that we enjoyed this week. But Eli, you got more than ideas, so I'm gonna let you go first.
What do I
Well,
have?
you got 4, I got 3. So
I better get my images ready. Damn, I'm unprepared again. Let's see, bully picks. What should I do? You know what? I'm gonna do Nightwing. Let's do Nightwing.
Let's do Nightwing. Nightwing was the second highest grossing comic this week. So yeah.
Nightwing,
best-selling. Yeah.
Number 87. Tom Taylor, y'all.
That's our guy.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Can I do that yet? I still can't share.
Did you create it? I mean, did you create the?
Yeah, but I can't. Let's see. Can I do it? Okay, edit.
No,
yeah,
I'm saying, did you create an account?
I thought I did. I got that thing, but it still doesn't say
Right, because
All I got is
you gotta
removed
actually
from scene.
create. Yeah, because you gotta actually create an account.
Oh, do I have to have a password and shit? Damn it.
Yeah, you gotta do all that. Yeah. That's why you can't
Oh
do it, because
yeah.
I looked it up, I Googled somebody, and yeah, that what they
Oh,
told me.
okay. So, anyways, Nightwing 87, Tom Taylor. This run has been been a lot of fun ever since Tom Taylor been writing this book. It's been one of my favorite comics right now. This one, I'm gonna say that I liked it a lot. I was watching This Geeks and Comics earlier today. Gomer said this issue might be his favorite single comic book issue this year.
This issue? Okay.
Yeah,
That's high
so that
praise.
goes to show, yeah, Nightwing is still rich. So this is just a simple action scene. There's not much story. There's a hit put out on Nightwing. They go and take his dog, and the whole comic is just him chasing his dog. But as you can see, the whole book is structured like these big splash pages, and it's just a chase. But you see the multiple, figures of him just running and chasing down everybody. And that's pretty much the whole book.
What was there another Nightwing book early this year where it was like the whole panel he was falling or something?
Yeah. I mean, there's been a
Okay.
lot of that in this series, in this run, where he just uses the multiple figures just to, emphasize the movement of the action.
Mhm.
But this whole book is structured just this. Like, let's see, can I go to the next one? Yeah, so there's a different panel, kind of like another page. But that's basically the rest of the book. The whole book is structured like that. So it was really fun. And it just shows comic book art being utilized in
It's its
brilliant ways.
own
I thought it was,
medium. It's its own medium. That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah. And very minimal writing, very minimal dialogue, because who wants to read a bunch? I mean, sure, fucking Ta-Nehisi Coates or Grant Morrison or Todd McFarlane, there would have been bubble,
Right.
bubble, bubble covering this whole fucking thing up.
Just a wall of text just right
Yeah,
there.
it was a dark and stormy night. The moon was in Scorpio. Like, all this bullshit. No, Tom Taylor is a good enough writer to let the image breathe. And it's a lot of fun. And he just, him and, he teams up with Babs, Batgirl, and they go after his dog, and he gets the dog back in the end. So just a really fun, well-written, well-drawn book. Fuck it, I'll give it a 5 out of 5.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, this is just a lot of fun. So, yeah.
That's what Tom Taylor's Tom Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's back on me. All right. So what I'm going to do Trial of Magneto number 5. And 5 of 5. So this is it. We're done with this.
All right.
And yeah. So now we're going to see whether or not this book was even worth it. Because up until then, we haven't even had a trial with Magneto. He hasn't gone on trial at all.
Okay.
So like okay. So anyway, start out with the book. Main thing is that Scarlet Witch knows who killed her in the last book. That's how it started off. And what we're doing now is that the book starts off is that she's pointing at somebody like, you killed me, but we don't know who did it. We don't know who she's pointing at. So this book, we find out who she's pointing at. But all they do is just cut to the Quiet Council. The Quiet Council cuts down. So we finally get a trial of somebody. And the trial we're getting is of Toad. Toad killed Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason he killed her, yeah.
Well, damn, Toad just became the ultimate badass, didn't he?
Yeah, so but it doesn't really make any sense because Toad it was in love with Wanda. That was his whole thing the whole time. But yeah, he said he killed Wanda. He said he killed Wanda because she broke up the Brotherhood and he wanted to get her back when he came here. And he was like, I did it for you, Magneto. I did it for you. And then what they just passed judgment on, it's just like, and they found all kind of like evidence that he did it. We found like a Uru like stone that she bashed her head in that is like magically tied to her. So the only thing that can kill her, and we found it on him. All his print matches. So it's open and shut case. Toad did it. And he just went like, I did it for you. And then Krakoa opens up in the middle of the Pride Council thing and sucks him in there. And that's it. I did it for you, Magneto. He's out of there. And the Avengers looking like, what the fuck? Because they just like, wait, y'all just did that? Like, well, I mean, we can't do anything because we on foreign soil. So if that's how they handle their business, that's how they handle their business. So they're like, okay. And they just like, well, that's it. Wanda's back. We got to kill her. We're gonna leave. And Wanda like, I can't leave because I got something else I got to do. She's just like, look, Polaris, I need you to come with me. And while they're doing that, Magneto leaves. And when Magneto leaves, he goes to his own chamber and he starts crying. So this is the trial of Magneto, his trial and tribulations. Now, the reason he's crying is because Wanda asked him, basically, Wanda killed herself, basically. That's what happened. But she asked Magneto that when I kill myself, I need you to help me do it. He's like, no, I can't kill my own daughter. He's like, no, you just stay with me and we'll figure this out. So what Wanda did, she actually did like a clone of Magneto and like choked herself. She was like, don't worry about me. I'm the Scarlet Witch. Death doesn't do anything to me. So she choked herself, killed herself. And she's like, all I need you to do is just find me when I die and I'll fix everything. Because basically she's trying to pull off a spell that she can't pull off until she's resurrected. That's the thing. So that's the whole point of it. So we get to what she's trying to do. The spell she's trying to pull off, and I'm going to go back to it. The spell she's trying to pull off is right here. She gets 3 of the children of the X-Men like that. She gets Polaris, she gets Proteus, she gets Legion to pull out the spell. Main thing is she pulled out the spell. What the spell did is that all the files that Cerebro couldn't get before Cerebro was backing up files, she got them now. She has all the files. So all the mutants that they couldn't get back, they can get them back now. So North Star and his husband was going to die, but they couldn't because the child died. Well, then now they can resurrect the child. And not only that, and that's what I wanted to see. So Hope Summers is basically bringing everybody back. Everybody, all the mutants back. It didn't matter, including John Proudstar.
Oh,
OG,
yeah,
the
I
OG
heard that's
Thunderbird.
coming back.
Yeah, so so when we saw the book, you thought it was always just James Proudstar doing it. No, it's the OG Thunderbird. He's back. They put all his memories back like that, so he's back in the game. And yeah, so basically that's what's going on. So at the end of it,
there's going to be a new book or a limited series, I think, written by Nyla Rose.
Right.
Thunderbird.
Right. Nyla so it's Rose the OG Thunderbird, John Proudstar. Yeah, so he's back. That's the one we've been complaining about. I've been complaining about the whole time. Like, why the hell you gotta bring back no Thunderbird? But they gave a reason why he wasn't back, and now Scarlet Witch fixes. So since she did that, now they're telling camp stories again, where they used to treat her like the boogeyman. Now they're telling stories and calling her, she's no longer the pretender, she's now the redeemer. And now the children actually like her. And that's it. That's the story. So yeah. Other shit happens, I don't care. But yeah. So the book is called Trial of Magneto. Magneto never goes on trial. Magneto's barely in the story. It's not even about him. It's about Scarlet Witch. They redeem her. So it's a whole bunch of retcons going on in this that nobody really cares about. Let's see. Todd the badass. He's there. Oh no, Toad didn't kill her. I think they put it in his mind that he killed her. Toad can't kill Scarlet Witch. I mean, she's Scarlet Witch. Cure Death commentary on Death and Comics Resurrection. Yeah, they've been doing that forever. So basically what this whole story book was about was basically bringing Wanda back into the X-Men fold. They hate her, now they love her again. Whether or not she's Magneto's daughter or not, yeah, she is. How did she become Magneto's daughter again? She just did. Don't think too hard about it. She just did. Shh. Marvel's like, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. Just a daughter. Because she calls him father all through the thing. He calls her daughter all through the thing. They don't care. They're just father and daughter. Whatever. Just go with it. Those are his kids again. So they retconned it in 2013. They just ignored it and now it's back. So they retconned the retcon. That's how you do it. Anyway. 3 out of 5. It was a half-assed way to get Scarlet Witch back into these things and retcon the retcons to the retcons, but whatever, I guess. What you got next?
I'll do Phoenix Song Echo number 3. Yeah, 3.
Oh, that book is moving. I know it was on 3.
Oh, yeah. getting this shit out the way. So yeah, fresh in everybody's mind, Echo got a big push because of the Hawkeye show. Well, for those who don't know, Echo has the Phoenix Force in the comics. Jason Aaron gave what was that story where all the X-Men were fighting for the Phoenix Force? That tournament, the Mortal Kombat
something
tournament
of champions. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll be able to pay attention.
And then in the end, the Phoenix Force chose Echo. So this book is a limited series. Echo is basically wondering why. Why does she have this power? Why did this great cosmic force choose her? And that's what she's kind of wondering. She goes back to the res to basically chill out and get back to her roots and figure out what's going on. She meets this dude named River, who's a mutant, who has the ability to look back into your family tree or your time, or all your relatives, your bloodline, and bring you back there. So this book has basically become sort of a Days of Future Past thing. They're jumping through time, while this enemy called the Adversary, I guess some old X-Men villain from back in I don't know when he originated, but I actually went back and read some of the books where Forge was battling him and shit back in the 90s. And basically it wants the Phoenix Force. It's trying to get the Phoenix Force from Echo, and he's going through her past bloodline, killing her mom, going through all her relatives. So in this book, they went back to Oklahoma in the 1800s, meet her relatives who were one of her uncles or aunts or somebody was a light horseman, which was a native police force back in Oklahoma in the 1800s. Kills that guy, so then they go back even further in time, and they end up in Cahokia. For those who don't know what Cahokia is, it was basically a native city, ancient native city around the Great Lakes area, around Illinois, around the Great Lakes area. It was a bunch of mounds and pyramids and villages. It was a place of trading, and it was a city in ancient America before the visitors came. It was probably the biggest city in America until like Boston and those colonial cities. And it was just like a hub for all these tribes to trade and commerce and stuff like that. So she ends up in the city back in like 1000 BC or whatever year it was, and she meets her other relative, her ancient ancestor, who also possessed the Phoenix Force back then.
So it's in her bloodline. Okay,
it's in her bloodline. And this Phoenix Force basically said, "Yeah, you need to learn how to use this shit. And because this thing's gonna fight you and take it from you, and you need to learn how to use it because she doesn't know how to use it very well,
Right.
So basically, she's got to do, train, and then to face off with the adversary. It's all right, I guess I would like this is I think is this the one more issue or is it two more issues? If it's one more issue, then this is gonna suck. If it's two more issues, then yes, because I'm waiting. I feel like they've taken a breather for 2 issues now, and I'm wanting to get to the conflict now. So now that she knows what to do and there's a definite story arc here, I think the next issue will have the cool shit where she actually fights, and we'll see her finally use the Phoenix Force like she was meant to. I know last time I got cut off when I was talking about how I felt about Echo being this street level character, all of a sudden given like godlike world breaker powers. And I felt a little conflicted about it. But one thing I did touch up on was in indigenous culture, women are in charge. Women advise chiefs, indigenous people, not just in America, talking about all over the world. They held women in high regard because they had the power of giving life. Not just here, ancient tribal people all over.
So it's not
the
the
world.
patriarchy, it's the matriarchy.
Yeah, women
Hmm.
are the ones who hold the power because they have the power of life, of giving birth, of holding the life. So they were very well respected, before the whole Judeo-Christian perspective came along and sort of women had their place and all that shit, and it became a patriarchy. Yes. So
Happy belated birthday, Jesus. But yeah.
yeah. Who was born in like the summertime.
Right. Somebody made a joke about the other day. Like basically the weather outside feels like when actually Jesus was born in.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think from an indigenous perspective, giving this power to a woman, a disabled woman, is a very strong statement. It makes sense. Because women do have power in indigenous cultures. If, for those who don't know, Congress, the US Congress, was based on the Iroquois Confederacy, the clan mothers, who were basically women who advised chiefs, a council of women who advised chiefs. That's what Congress is based off of. So yeah, giving this great power to an indigenous woman makes a lot of sense. But yeah, a woman with disabilities, I think, is an even stronger statement. I don't know if that was Jason Aaron's intent. I feel like that they were just, oh, Echo is going to be on the show. Let's throw Echo
Do
into some
something.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do something with her and blah, 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 blah. I don't think they really realized what a political statement that is, given the power, this big power to this woman, this indigenous woman. How some of us are like, wow, that's kind of cool. So I'm eager to see her finally use it in these next coming issues, because so far this story has just been like her wondering, questioning why she has this, and yeah. So hopefully we'll get to see some cool shit. But for now, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Cool. Okay. Push Echo hard. I hope done justice going far beyond. Okay. So Eli, let me ask you a question.
All right.
Are you done talking about Echo, or would you like to hear some more about Echo?
I can talk about Echo.
I'm glad you asked. No, not you. Me. let's keep this Echo train going. Like I said, they steamrolling. I didn't know I was going into an Echo book, but it turns out it was. Let's talk about Avengers number 51.
Okay, yes, she's part of the Avengers now.
she's an Avenger now. So yeah, let's just kind of throw it in there. But yeah, she's here, and this story is kind of she's in the story. I don't know if I said revolved around it, but she's in it.
Like most of the comics she's in.
Right, she's there.
She's there.
So yeah, so this is the first arc of Death Hunters number 1. So this has got something to do with the multi-dimensional.
Oh, there she is, right on the cover.
She's on the cover, so she's selling it
on.
Yeah. So like I said, so basically the book starts off is that we're in Asgard, and Tony and Thor are having a conversation. And basically, if we keep it with the book, Thor has found out that the Phoenix is his mother now. Or
that's right, yeah.
Right. Or may not be his mother, even though Gaia has been his mother, since as long as he can remember, which is one of the reasons why he fights for Earth, because he thinks if his mother of Earth is there, it's his job to protect Earth and Asgard. But if Phoenix is his mother, he like, what the hell I've been doing? So he's just working the heavy bag right now. And Tony's just like, look, man, we all got family issues, man. But you need to work this through. You need to figure out what's going on. Matter of fact, what you need to do is talk to Echo. Y'all need to have a one-on-one conversation to see what's going on. He like, hell no. I don't want nothing to do with anybody with a Phoenix on them. I don't care. New Phoenix, old Phoenix, whatever. Keep Phoenix the hell away from me. And it turns out the heavy bag he was working was Destroyer. So he was beating shit out of Destroyer armor the whole time.
Heavy bag? What's a heavy bag made out of?
Right. So he was using Destroyer armor as a heavy bag, right? And he was like, look, keep Echo the hell away from me. I don't want nothing to do with any kind of Phoenix. Guy is my mother. That's what I'm dealing with. Even though she's not returning my calls right now. I don't care. Guy is my mother. Keep Echo away from me. So that's the thing. But while they're saying that, Echo is on the Rainbow Bridge, the Bifrost Bridge. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to get past, Sif. She like, I need to talk to Thor. And Sif like, he don't want to talk to you. Well, if I want to talk to Thor, Sif, you really can't stop me. She's like, oh, really? So that's when he get ready to get going. And, and she, flames up. She's like, look, if I want to get through, ain't nothing you can do about it. But before it gets started, Sif just freezes in one spot. And she's like, wait, I didn't do that. But it turns out Another Phoenix is there.
Uh-oh.
A variant Phoenix. So they're going there in these Marvel books now. So, and that's when they're like, uh-oh, everybody's been frozen right now. But Tony and Thor is like, okay, so why aren't we frozen? And the reason they're not frozen is because Deathlock has saved them. Now, for those who know who Deathlock is, he's a cyborg assassin, blah, blah, whatever like that. Doesn't matter. In these books, there's actually like an infinite number of Deathlocks. Well, not infinite.
Pat T listening, probably not, but that's one of his favorite characters.
Deathlock is awesome. He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah.
I know. I remember that.
You're
and
right.
I was like, that's Deathlock, really?
They made it work. They made
Fuck
it work.
This shit.
You saying that now? They gonna bring him back now that they got the variant thing. But the whole thing is they have like a bunch of Deathlocks, and the Deathlocks are like basically like an army for the multi-dimensional whatever, and they're basically coming to warn them that these variant masters of evil are coming to kill you. And he gets killed. So he gets killed by evil variant Wolverine, Dark Phoenix, who looks an awful lot like Raven from Teen Titans. I'm sure that's not a coincidence. Oh, and this guy. Okay, the guy in the red, that's Killmonger.
Is it?
It's Killmonger wearing this Asgardian destroyer vibranium armor.
I was about to say Red Destroyer. I look like Red. Is there a Red Destroyer?
No, that's saying, but they're all variants. It's like this. So they're from different dimensions and shit like that. So they see these guys and it's just like, what the fuck? But I'm still tripping on Raven from Teen Titans, as the bad guy. But anyway, let's keep going. And that's when it's just like, and Tony's just like, wait, Killmonger, aren't you a Black Panther villain? He's like, look at Stark trying to work his tiny little mind, trying to figure me out, and Wolverine, evil, they just killing just Deathlocks left and right and stuff like that. And they're just getting an ass kicked, basically. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the point where we're trying to get to. Oh, yeah, Echo shows up. She gets smacked around. But I want to get to this part. I'm going to come back to Echo, but I want to get to this part right here. This is actually the cool part right here. So it's a flashback. We go to Avengers Mountain. And T'Challa brings Echo there. She's like, look, since you got all these crazy ass powers like that, you need to be on the team. You need to be an Avenger. So you know how to fight like everybody on the planet. But the database we have here teach you how to fight like people off planet. So now you can learn how to fight like anybody. She's like, okay, cool. And she talks to the computer. Give me a list of everybody in the universe that can kill Phoenix. And it's a short list, but it started listing off. You got Molecule Man, you got Thanos, you got Galactus, Living Tribunal, the Beyonders. And she's like, oh, and T'Challa like, oh, I get what you're trying to do. Like Scarlet Witch, Thor, just naming off people. She's like, oh, you're trying to figure out how to beat the people that can beat Phoenix. She's like, no. I'm trying to figure out how to kill the Phoenix, because that might be the most powerful person I can have. So I need to learn how to fight like them. So if I go up against another Phoenix, I can kill them. So with Echo, we go cut back to Echo fighting that Raven Phoenix character, and she's mimicking Thor. She's fighting like Thor's fighting ability. So she mimics like dual hammers. She
What she got? Oh, just Phoenix hammers?
Yeah, she like makes Phoenix hammers and shit like this. So she's fighting and she does like the Gale wind force and shit like that. She does that to beat this Phoenix ass. Because she knows Thor can kill the Phoenix. So she's fighting the Phoenix. She's fighting like Thor.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So then she goes for Killmonger, and she just takes Killmonger like he's nothing. She sees Wolverine and she starts fighting like Wolverine. She brings like fire claws shit like that, like stabs him in the head, but she does like a psychic type thing and just puts him down, But then that's when the other Phoenix, like powers up even some more. And then that's when Thor's like, that ain't happening. So now Thor and Iron Man have recovered, and then Phoenix like that, and then another Deathlock shows up, and they're just like, okay, listen, we got you. It's 4-on-1. We about to take you out. But before they can do that, it's some more Deathlocks also. So Dark Phoenix, Evil Phoenix, Raven Phoenix kills the Dark Deathlocks like the nothing. And then Evil Thor shows up, her son. Yeah. So and some other shit happens, and yeah. So Tony's calling Cap. He's like, Cap, we got a situation, and Cap's just like, yeah, we got a situation too. We getting our ass kicked out here. He's like, whatever you do, don't let them kill the Deathlocks, even though all the Deathlocks are dead. To be continued. So that's the book. So Eli, we got some Echo action. We got some Echo Phoenix
cool.
action.
I might have to start reading it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, overall, yeah, I give this book a 4 out of 5. It's the beginning of a new arc. They had some cool shit, but I want to see where they go with it. They're basically doing like variant bad guys, stuff like that. So
All right, yeah, that's always fun, right? Yeah, I might jump on then for a little bit, see how this goes. Ride the Echo train for a while.
So what you got next?
I'll do King Conan #1.
Cool.
Jason Aaron.
He's everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. Do I got an image? Did I got an image? Let's see. So yeah, this is Jason Aaron back on the Conan book. He brought back the Conan book a couple years ago, and then did a
because his Thor run was basically just Conan in space.
Yeah. There it is. Okay, here we go. Oops, there it is. Okay, here. So yeah, he did like a 12-issue arc, and then I think Zeb Wells or somebody took it over for a while, and then now he's back with this King Conan arc. So basically, it starts off Conan is shipwrecked on an island. He abandoned his throne. We don't know why, really. And he's wondering where he's at. He doesn't know what island he's on. But then Thoth Amon shows up and starts fighting him. Thoth Amon is a wizard, Stygian wizard he's like a reoccurring enemy in Conan stories. And Conan hates wizards. Motherfuckers who use magic are pussies in Conan.
Right, they're cheating.
Yeah. So they have a fight, and while they're fighting, we get flashbacks of Conan's time on the throne and how he had a son, and how he vowed that being a king would never soften him or make him forget where he came from. That he will always be a barbarian and always remain hard and true to the never forget the hood, basically. Never get all bougie and shit just because he's a king. So, and then, he tells his son that, years later that, he must always, sharpening his sword. His son's like, why are you sharpening yourself? We have swordsmiths that can do that for you. We're royalty. We don't need to do that ourselves. He's like, oh no, you need to, a sword is like an extension of yourself. You need to hone it and craft it yourself. So don't ever forget that. And basically, don't go soft. Don't be a spoiled brat. So they continue fighting back to the, him and Thoth Amon are still fighting. Thoth Amon is trying to do this spell. He's like, I've searched for you for years. I've been waiting to do this ultimate spell, but I need the blood of a king. And he cuts Conan, and he's got the blood. He's like, I finally can do this spell I've waited for years to do, and I've got the blood of a king, your blood. And then he's like, oh shit, this ain't working. And Conan's like, yeah, it's because I'm not a king anymore. I abandoned my throne. But then the sun sets and it's nighttime. And I guess on this island, the water, low tide happens. Once the sun sets, low tide, the waves recede back, and all the you can see like beneath the water where all the water was, you can see all these sunken ships and all the bodies of dead soldiers like that like drowned and shit in the water. You can see them all now. And then all of a sudden, all the dead soldiers zombied up, they all rise and start attacking them. And Conan's like, damn it, wizard, and your stupid spells raising these dead zombies to come attack me. And Thoth Amon's like, yeah, that's not me. I didn't do this. And that's and then it bookends. So it's fun. It's Conan, swords and sorcery and dragons and shit that I'm into. I've always been a Conan fan. I was actually doing a Conan podcast last year with
Riddle
Ogar.
of Steel. Yeah,
the Riddle of Steel doesn't go on anymore since Outright Geekery's site crashed. But yeah, I've always been a Conan fan, so this is fun. So 4 out of 5.
Nice. Okay. All right. So last book I'm gonna do is Black Panther #2.
Like I read this too.
You read this? You did read this, yeah.
Like I said,
Like I said, Coach is gone. He's out of here. New guy, John Ridley or David Ridley?
John Ridley.
John Ridley. Who is David Ridley? I don't know. I keep messing up.
Know.
Anyway, I think just pull the name on my ass. Anyway, but yeah, basically what the story is that Black Panther has a whole bunch of assassins coming at them, and he's basically trying to find out how to stop them. Who are these assassins, where they came from, and why they're trying to kill them. And he's got like his war dogs all over the world, and how do they know him? So that's the thing. So he's basically this book starts off, he's trying to get his war dogs, trying to pull them back into the fold. You got to come back home because they know where you are. It's basically like a James Bond plot where all the CIA agents, MI6 it's that plot. That's what it is. Yeah. So what we got here is that basically the book starts off with T'Challa just telling everybody, you need to come back. Some of them are like, yeah, I can't wait to come back. Some are like, nah, I want to come back. And you got this asshole, fuck you, T'Challa. I'm not coming back. Because the thing is, they don't want to come back because some of them have actually built lives on their own, like Kimura, what the name is. She got a whole family, married, kid, the whole thing, house. She's like that. Like, I can't just leave just because you say so. When you put us out in the field, you told us to, integrate with society, get on with lives. So guess what? This is my life here. So I'm not going anywhere with T'Challa. You're like, okay, cool. Well, I can't make you leave. Go ahead. But he still get a little Shuri bug thing that he's just gonna basically put a trace on her. That's going on. All right. So, and then we got a B plot with Shuri going on. She's just doing some CIA investigating. Never mind. We cut back to Kimura, and you got that whole long kiss goodnight Charlie Baltimore thing going on. She's just a normal housewife, and she's just like, something right. Since she like, y'all go outside. I'm gonna get one of these kitchen knives. I'm gonna get ready. Then she, okay, bring your ass. She takes out the Kimura. She take off her earrings, the Kimura beads. She like, bam, turns into, whatever. She like, okay, let's go. And then the assassins come out. They break through the door. They ready to fight. They just like, come on, let's go. Actually, just one assassin. She takes him on, and she stands no chance. She gets taken out pretty easily. Yeah, like really easily. And before she can before the assassin can do like the whole thing and just take him out, blow up the house. Oh, he's about to come for her family. And he's just like, close your eyes. It's coming. And then boom, you get taken out and you already know what happened. It's T'Challa and his sidekick. I don't know her name yet. I'll learn it later on. Anyway, they're fighting this guy. And he's just like, you make sure the family's okay. I'll take out this assassin. So T'Challa's one-on-one with this guy. And they fight it out. And they go. And the guy actually gets like a good shot in on T'Challa. I don't know if he got vibranium with him also, whatever like that. But he gets him like in the side, like on the side over there. I'm trying to see if I can get to it. So T'Challa think he's down. He's not going to go anywhere. Bam, that's where he catches him right there. Shank. He's down. He's about to take his head off, but then T'Challa grabs the blade. Like on the old kung fu movies and shit like that. And I love this part right here. Slice. You got the whole onomatopoeia? Slice. Takes his arm off. He's like, oh shit. So then like he's just okay. Who are you working for? Who sent you? The same old stuff like that. But then that's when the guy blows himself up. You never take me alive or stuff like that. So then while they're investigating the plot, Shuri is working undercover, getting information from the CSI agents. And she's like, okay, cool. I'll fast forward to this. Anyway, they're in the car. They're comparing notes. Shuri's finds some stuff on her end. She's telling T'Challa what's going on. She was like, look, don't worry about it. I'll get Kimura and her family, and I'll get them safe. Meanwhile, I gave you a present. Here's some keys. And be safe, T'Challa. She kills her. She's his moral compass. Shuri's always the one that's going to tell her like it is. So they go to the national park, and basically, Shuri left him a plane so they can get around. Like, okay, now we're in business. Let's go ahead and get on. But before they go, his Panther senses start tingling. I don't know what this thing is. But the plane blows up. And then it's his cat senses, right? And he turns around, and it's like 3 of those assassins. One of them got a rocket launch, another got like a big ass battle axe, and that's it. Next issue is supposed to be him going to Mars to meet his ex-wife. So yeah.
Okay, those guys look like those dudes he was fighting kind of look like the Knights of Ren or from Star Wars, or
I can see it.
The Nile in the High Republic, the Star Wars High Republic. They kind of have those symbols on their faces, kind of look like the Nile, those space pirates.
Right. So there's got to be something going on with that. Here's the thing, Eli. I'm digging it. I've been hearing chatter on people like how they digging this story compared, people aren't digging this one. I don't know what it is, but I'm digging. I guess because it's like that spy international espionage thing. It's a more boots on the ground story than what Coach was doing. I'm digging it. Plus, he's out of Wakanda.
Yeah.
I don't mind Wakanda stories, but I like him when he's globetrotting. I like those stories better.
Like this or that Nightwing could have been the book of the week. Like I really dug on this.
Yeah, I mean, just this what I like. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people hate on it. Me, I'm still say 4 to 5 because the story's still building, but I'm into it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, it was well written. It was well paced. I like that beginning of him just interviewing all the 9 panel.
Hey everybody, because you were getting like different reactions of what people were saying to him. And you know what? That I think that's what it was. That fuck you, T'Challa. People just saw that because that screenshot, that panel has gone viral.
Oh, really?
So people are seeing that screenshot and they thinking, oh, they're just some more. Oh, you're just making T'Challa another scrub. Water him down. You're nerfing him. So they think they're doing T'Challa wrong and not reading the whole story. They're just reading just that story in context. I'm gonna see if I can pull it one more time. And they're thinking, oh, if that's the direction you're going with T'Challa, then I'm out.
Another case of people not reading the article.
Not reading the article. They just see it and it's just like, I'm out of it. But
well, you want to know what I think.
Right. And that's why that's why we didn't talk about the Punisher thing, because I didn't want to take stuff out of context without knowing what's going on. Yeah. And we just forming our own opinion. And that's what people are doing with it. They see this one panel and they thinking they already know where the story is going. Oh, you're just shitting on T'Challa again, like Coach did, And I get it. I get it. Like if you're a fan of Black Panther, you're very, very particular about how he's portrayed in these books, not just in these books, just in general. Like how they're gonna handle him in the movie, like how he is in video games, stuff like that. So when you see portrayal that you're not on board with, you're just like, I can't do it, because you got to pay very attention to who's making this stuff. Like basically T'Challa is like the super black man. He's like a lot of black comic book fans like us. That's who we idealize ourselves as. Comic books are power fantasy. Superheroes are power fantasy. So when we see Black Panther, yes, it's a power fantasy to us. So when we do see him get nerfed, job, knocked out, stuff like that, we're like, okay, what are you trying to say? If that's the idealized black man that we know and you're treating him like shit, what does that say? I'm trying to see it from both sides of the angles, but in my opinion, I don't think they're doing it like this in the story. But at the same time, I don't want to see it where he's completely perfect either. There's got to be a balance. Yeah. That's me.
And I think that's just a reflection of sort of fans in a way, I guess. Mm-hmm. Sort of reflection of the real world, like back to that the whole thing about the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, about how why should Falcon become Captain America, a black Captain America? What does that, he's gonna get that backlash. Yeah, it's a cool opportunity, but then he's gonna be called a sellout and all that shit, and he's gonna have that hate coming from his community, and that I think that's reflected. I think that's being reflected in this book, in a way.
I'm digging it, but I don't know. I want more people to read this book, but I can see why people are not reading the book. Because when you see one little panel like that, and it just scares people away.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they didn't read the book. I mean, yeah, the guy's angry because he's like, he's been undercover for how long?
Right, and now he's being pulled out. So it makes sense why
he's just angry. Yeah, but that's just one panel out of a whole story that really has nothing to do with that guy.
But that's the internet for you. So,
yeah.
All right. So what you got next?
The last book I got is Army of Darkness, 1979, number 4. And damn it, why? Okay, there it is. So yeah, this is just Ash from Evil Dead. He got sucked into a portal back into 1970s New York City, and there's a street gang called the Warlocks. Yeah, the Warlocks. And the gang leader has the Necronomicon. He's going around destroying all the other street gangs, kind of like the Warriors. It's basically the Warriors meets Evil Dead. Street gangs. This guy's going around killing all the rival gangs, taking their turf, trying to basically rule the world with the Necronomicon. And Ash teams up with their rival gang, and fights them. This issue was kind of slow, kind of stagnant. I'm still waiting for I thought it dragged. It drags the story a little bit. There was a scene where they go to Studio 54, like it's all disco. It's set late 70s New York, so it's disco era, high. It's much in swing now. And they go to Studio 54 and they have a brawl, but I was hoping it was going to be like a Deadite brawl, like Deadites are going to show up, but no, it's just them fighting human gang members. So I was like, that's it. I was hoping for some chainsaw action and some dismemberment.
Right.
So this book was a little light on gore. So, but I still think it's a fun idea. It's a fun story, but this was a little lacking. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Still on the book. I'm still going to read it. I was just like, this one was a little bit slow. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, yeah, like I said, if you listen this long, then you got any more books?
I'm done.
Okay, cool.
I'm
If you listen this long, if you like, subscribe. I guess next week we might do like the end of the year thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It came out of nowhere.
Also, Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett's coming out too.
Boba Fett. Yeah. Tell you what, we because we're gonna talk about Boba Fett. So we're gonna hold off on the end of the year. We might do the end of the year like next week. Because we need to talk about Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that.
We're gonna talk about Boba Fett. So we're gonna postpone and talk about Boba Fett as we're gonna do. So, and we're gonna have a awesome episode for you. So hopefully you like this one. We actually went deeper into the Matrix than I thought we were gonna get into it. And
I thought we were gonna talk in like 20 minutes. We ended up spending like an hour.
Yeah, honestly, I thought we were gonna like brawl it out on here, man. I thought it was gonna be like one of those, like we were just gonna argue all day like that. You don't know.
It was awesome. No, it wasn't. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Like the internet. We didn't do
like
that.
the internet. The worst piece of shit ever. I thought it was awesome. Well, you're stupid.
Right. But we didn't do that. We were civil, so I like that. But yeah, like I said, next week, like I said, done with the Marvel shit. Star Wars is back on deck, so we're gonna, get into it. And yeah, like I said, appreciate everybody for listening because we finally hit 3,000 downloads on just audio.
Oh yeah,
just audio alone, not counting video, not counting YouTube, Facebook. So I don't know who's listening. Appreciate you. So yeah, and yeah, so yeah, we thank you. Like I said, we're gonna keep some more stuff going. Hopefully, this episode will get out there too. So until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.